Welcome to our Modi briefing. Sure, I'm your host, Liang Jun. We dive into the latest headlines shaking the political landscape. First up, Bangladesh is in turmoil as Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina resigns and flees to India. This unexpected move could recalibrate the US-India strategy in the Indo-Pacific, as the opposition Bangladesh Nationalist Party, which leans more towards China, might seize power. Analysts are keeping a close eye on the regional implications of this power shift. Next up, the world is reacting to Hasina's dramatic exit. Following weeks of intense protests that left hundreds dead, an interim government has been installed in Bangladesh. The international community's response has been mixed, with some expressing concern over the stability of the region. Finally, we turn to India, where the ruling BJP faces internal strife after a shocking defeat in the Ayodhya constituency. Despite the loss which symbolically undermines their Hindutva campaign, the RSS is unlikely to oust Modi just yet, given the strong corporate backing he enjoys. The tension between Modi and the RSS, however, points to an ongoing power struggle within the party. Please stay tuned for the detailed coverage. South China Morning Post: the dramatic exit of Bangladesh Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina has created a strategic vacuum that could be filled by a more pro-China government, posing significant challenges for the US and India in the Indo-Pacific region. Analysts like Michael Kugelman from the Wilson Center's South Asia Institute warn that Hasina's departure after 15 years in power could allow pro-China factions, particularly the opposition Bangladesh Nationalist Party, to gain influence. The US and India, both aiming to counter China's regional ambitions, may need to recalibrate their strategies. Hasina's resignation followed weeks of protests over civil service job allocations, resulting in a crackdown that left nearly 300 dead. The military has now taken control, promising an interim government. Throughout this turmoil, Washington and New Delhi have maintained close consultations, emphasizing their strategic interest in Bangladesh. Despite Hasina's cordial ties with Beijing, her relationship with Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi had also drawn Dhaka closer to New Delhi. The US and India must now navigate a complex geopolitical landscape, with the potential for significant shifts in Bangladesh's foreign policy. Al Jazeera: Bangladesh Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina resigned and fled the country amid violent protests, marking the end of her 15-year rule. The unrest began with student-led protests against a quota system for government jobs and escalated into widespread demands for her ouster, as thousands surrounded government offices in Dhaka. Hasina fled to India. The military has since taken control, with General Waqar Youth Ayman announcing an interim government. Global reactions to Hasina's removal have been mixed. In London, the Bangladeshi community celebrated her departure, viewing it as a second independence. UK Prime Minister Keir Starmer condemned the violence and called for the protection of peaceful protests. The EU and US have urged for a peaceful transition to democratic rule, emphasizing human rights. Amnesty International and other organizations have criticized the government's violent response to the protests, noting that much of the bloodshed could have been avoided. The situation remains volatile, with concerns about the military's role and the future of Bangladesh's democracy. Diplomat: although India's ruling Bharatiya Janata Party BJP won the most seats in the recent elections, Prime Minister Narendra Modi and his party emerged weakened, failing to secure an absolute majority. The BJP's defeat in the Ayodhya Lok Sabha constituency, a symbolic stronghold, highlighted internal tensions. Modi's hubris was publicly criticized by Mohan Bhagwat, chief of the Rashtriya Swayamvar Sangh RSS, the BJP's ideological mentor. Despite speculation about the RSS replacing Modi, the organization benefits significantly from his leadership, enjoying unprecedented access to resources and influence. Modi's relationship with Uttar Pradesh Chief Minister Yogi Adityanath has also been strained, with Adityanath emerging as a potential rival. The RSCNC support for Modi remains strong due to his corporate backing and ability to secure funding. However, the RSS is keen to see a more restrained Modi. The BJP's internal dynamics reflect broader challenges, including the rise of radical Hindutva forces and the need to balance power within the party. Thank you for tuning in. The content above showcases the latest briefing reports and analytical synopses, thoughtfully curated by the 60O team. These insights stem from a wide array of reputable media outlets. think tanks, government sources, and specialized experts worldwide. We encourage you to explore these sources for a comprehensive perspective. Keep in mind that while the content may not always align with the official standpoint of 60O brief, it's not meant to be taken as absolute directives for decision-making. Comprising seasoned media professionals, learned scholars, and accomplished scientists, the 60O team embodies a trailblazing, fully independent media entity. To customize 60O brief to meet your professional needs, you have the option to subscribe to a diverse array of briefings on our website. 60O brief, regardless of your location, you can conveniently receive 60O brief via email.
News breaks, buzz the ground, stories spit, walls come down, voices merge in the sound, faces mix in the crowd. Broadcasters paint the scene, world events on our screen. Every link a different theme, words collide in the stream. 6 degrees connect the dots, background stories more than nuts. Hear the voices rise a lot, truth unveils in every spot. Cultures clash across the globe, spin the threads in a stroke. Every story wears a robe, truth and lies in their code. Journalistic review, secrets out they don't see. Every angle they repeat, in the news we take a lead. New perspectives day by day, hidden truths come to play. In the background shades of gray, every story finds its way. Perspectives day by day, hidden truths come to play. In the background shades of gray, every story finds its way.
Cultures, I go, what really or do not, what enough to be you, everything and ever, what enough and after, what enough and after, what enough and after, enough 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 enough